The mayor of a Paris suburb has said his home was attacked early Sunday morning, calling it an assassination attempt on his family amid ongoing unrest in the country. At 1:30 a.m., while I was at the city hall like the past 3 nights, individuals rammed their car upon my residence before setting fire to it to burn my house, inside which my wife and my 2 young children slept, said Mayor Vincent Jeanbrun of Les Les Roses, a commune in the southern suburbs of Paris, in a statement. While trying to protect the children and escape the attackers, my wife and one of my children were injured. Jeanbrun said that he had no words strong enough to describe his emotion towards the horror of this night, and thanked police and rescue services for their help. The Créteil prosecutor's office has classified the incident as an attempted murder. Prosecutor Stéphane Hardouin told reporters Sunday. Funeral held for French teenager as arrests mount on fifth night of protests. Hardouin said the initial findings of a police investigation suggest that a flaming car was launched to burn down the pavilion. Entering Jeanbrun's property at around 1:30 a.m. local time. Hitting a low wall, the vehicle stopped before it could reach the veranda of the house. Only the front gate was hit, along with the family's vehicle, the prosecutor said in a news conference outside the mayor's home. He said the mayor's wife and 2 children, aged 5 and 7, fled through the back garden. While running away, the mayor's wife hurt her shin, which appears to be broken, according to the prosecutor. Hardouin also said forensic police have found a fire accelerant in a bottle of Coke. He didn't specify which substance the accelerant was. Every effort will be made to find the perpetrators and bring them to justice, the prosecutor concluded. France has been rocked by a wave of protests following the death of Nahel Merzouk, a 17-year-old of Algerian descent who was shot by a police officer in Nanterre earlier in the week and whose funeral took place on Saturday at a mosque in the Paris suburb amid a heavy security presence. The youth's death has reignited a debate on policing in France's marginalized communities and raised questions over whether race was a factor in his death. His mother, Maunia, told television station France 5 on Friday that she blamed only the officer who shot her son for his death. Nonetheless, the killing has sparked widespread destructive unrest. A GoFundMe page in support of the family of the police officer accused of fatally shooting the teenager had reached almost €650,000, $710,000 on Sunday afternoon. The page was started by a far-right TV pundit and claims the policeman only did his job and is now paying a hard price for it. The officer has been charged with voluntary homicide and placed in preliminary detention, the prosecutor of Nanterre said earlier in the week. In comparison, another crowdfunding page in support of Nahel's mother had raised over €97, $105,000 at the time of writing. The page reads, Nahel leaves behind a mother torn apart by the loss of her only son. She needs our support to face the long trials that lie ahead. While the French government has deployed security forces and riot police across the country, the unrest continued with another night of protests. More than 700 people were detained across France overnight, according to a provisional tally from the Interior Ministry. The statement added 45 police officers and gendarmes had been injured overnight, while 74 buildings including 26 police and gendarme stations were damaged and 577 vehicles set on fire. The previous night, more than 1,300 people were detained and 2,560 fires reported on public roads. Many of those detained since the unrest began on Tuesday are minors, with an average age of 17. According to Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin. Meanwhile, China has warned its citizens in France to remain vigilant after a bus carrying a Chinese tour group in the southern city of Marseille had its windows smashed. resulting in multiple minor injuries, the country's foreign ministry said in a statement Sunday. China's consulate general in Marseille has lodged an official complaint and urged French authorities to ensure the safety of Chinese citizens and property amid the unrest. The ministry did not say when the incident took place or how many people were injured. It said all the tourists on the group have since left France.